You know, there's no place like home for Thanksgiving. And here at my folks' house, we have a big Thanksgiving dinner. Old Bo even gets some of the leftovers after the big meal. Well, tonight, my mom's going to teach me how to make two of my favorites. That's right, you know my culinary skills. She's going to teach me. And that's the cream sweet potatoes with black walnuts and also the pecan pie. And my dad, he's going to show us some turkey carving tips. So I'll go wash my hands and you grab your pencil and paper and we'll go on in. Right, Bobo? Okay.
Hey, I'm Cindy Putman, and I'm here with my mom and my dad, Doris and Glenn Whitaker. I hope you're enjoying your Thanksgiving as much as we are, and I know lots of work has to go into preparing a Thanksgiving meal, so we're going to share with you today some of our family's favorite Thanksgiving recipes. And Mom, what are we going to make?
We're going to make a hickory nut pie.
A hickory nut pie, and for those of you who don't know what hickory nuts are, it's actually a nut from a hickory tree, and these nuts came out of the tree in my grandfather's farm yard in White County, Tennessee. He lives in Sparta, he and my grandmother, and this was a tree that we've decided is well over 100 years old. And the interesting thing about hickory nuts is that one year you get a great crop and the next year you don't get a very good crop. And Mom, you said these are called what kind of hickory nuts?
Soft shell.
Soft shell and scaly bark. Scaly bark. And my dad is actually picking out the hickory nuts. They're much smaller than what a pecan is. It's just a small little nut and you just crack it, and we always cracked it. We love to go out under the tree and play, and we'd crack it on a rock bench that my grandfather had with another rock, and we would eat the hickory nuts there. And you have to have how much for our pie today?
We have to have 1 cup of nuts.
1 cup of nuts. And you're not probably going to find a hickory nut pie recipe in a cookbook. So my grandmother always used just a southern pecan pie recipe. So Mom, tell me what goes in our pie today.
Okay, we have 1 cup of white corn syrup.
Oh, it's right here. Okay, 1 cup of, can I pour it in here?
Yes.
All right. And how old did you tell me this bowl was?
52 years old. I got it for a wedding present.
Oh, and I'm 51, so we know exactly. Okay. Our 52-year-old bowl, and we're putting our 1 cup of white corn syrup in there. Okay, and then what else do we need?
1 cup of dark brown sugar.
All right. Dark brown sugar. And you told me you accidentally bought dark brown sugar. I replaced it with a light bag. I got the wrong kind.
It says dark.
The dark brown sugar, all right. And we had these already pre-measured because I find that that really helps if you're making something, and that way you know that you have all your ingredients before you get started. All right.
1/3 cup of butter, and I prefer to use butter instead of margarine.
Okay. You want to pour that? Is this your butter and let you pour that in? Yeah. And then what else?
Stir that together good, and then add I have prepared the 3 eggs.
Okay, we've got the eggs. The next thing, Mom, what do we need to add?
We need a dash of vanilla. And I don't know how much a dash is, but just a little bit.
Okay, well, hold your spoon up. Let me kind of dash it in that. Now, you know, I grew up with 2 grandmothers, Lenny Mae Hampton and Jeannie Whitaker, and one of my grandmothers measured everything. One of my grandmothers measured nothing. So Grandma Whitaker would have just dashed it in there, and I can just imagine her with a pinch of salt. She would just have, how much do we think a pinch is going to be?
Oh, that's more than a pinch.
That's more than a pinch? We'll put it in, okay. And is that all we have to do?
That's all we have to do, and dump the nuts in. We dump the nuts in here.
Oh, you dump the nuts in there? Oh, wait a minute, now I need to ask, do you cut them up or anything, or do you leave them? No, you don't chop them? Or
they come to the top just like a pecan does.
Okay. All right, so we're going to dump those in. And you told me, Mom, a good technique to make sure that there weren't any pieces of the shell in it. What do you do when you're looking at the nuts?
I take them, put them on a white plate, and I push each nut over to itself, and then make sure that nobody gets a hickory nut hull, because that could be some dental problems.
This is a large deep dish pie shell, so it makes enough for that. Oh gosh, it smells wonderful.
I'm going to place it in the oven for 40 to 45 minutes. I will check it, though, when it starts getting brown. I may tint the pastry so it won't brown.
And how do you tint the pastry?
With just I'd take tin foil and just go around it. But you can buy the little things that keep it from getting too crisp, because that's quite a long time to bake at that high temperature. So we should have good pie in 45 minutes.
This is my mom, Dimple Robertson, and she's going to teach me, finally, how to cook. Why didn't you teach me in the first place?
Well, You was little, and I wanted to let you play and have fun. And then when you started high school, you worked evenings and college.
Yeah, right, well.
And had a lot of friends over.
That was a good excuse, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the problem is I'm still playing. Now, we're going to start off here by making creamed sweet potatoes, right? So move on over here and tell me how we're going to start this. First, we have these, well, actually, we have sweet potatoes, and they have been boiled. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, they've been boiled about 30 minutes, and then we peeled them after they were boiled. Now you're ready to cream them.
So I just turn this machine on, right? Turn this machine on?
Yes, turn that machine on.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, you want me to add some butter?
Yes, about 2 rounding tablespoons, so just sort of 2 hunks.
2 rounding tablespoons.
Right, yeah.
How's that?
That's okay. Not quite so much next time. That's okay. That's about the way I do. Go ahead. See, I just taste. I don't really have recipes.
That too much?
That's all right. That's not a real table. That's fine.
Squeeze
You want
them
it?
out like that?
No, that's fine. Way ahead.
Is that okay?
That's fine.
It's diet oleo.
Diet. No cholesterol.
No cholesterol. Okay.
I used to use
Now
butter.
the butter's added.
You have to get that all mixed up.
Now what do we need to add?
Your sugar with the cloves and cinnamon.
We need to do what?
Add sugar with the cloves and cinnamon in.
Add the sugar. Oh, okay.
You've already measured.
Now how much is in here?
About nearly
I
a
didn't
cup.
measure it.
You measured about a cup. This is a cup thing.
Well, I know this is a cup of sugar, but how much other stuff is in there?
Oh, you put almost a teaspoon of cinnamon, don't you?
Teaspoon of cinnamon.
And about an eighth of cloves.
An eighth of
Very
cloves.
little.
That was a booger. Okay. Now add that.
Yes. Now you can add your egg. My mother-in-law's the one who told me to add an egg. I never did before, but it makes it real creamy.
Your mother-in-law?
Mm-hmm.
Told you to
Your
add
grandmother.
an egg?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. It's a little hard. Now, why did you tell me? You told me I had to break it in this glass. You wouldn't let me just break it in there.
spoiled egg or something. You know, sometimes you can get one that's not too good.
Okay. Just dump it in?
Yes.
So I need to turn this back on?
Mm-hmm. Then now, before you do that anymore, you can put about a teaspoon of vanilla. And my mother-in-law also told me to put vanilla in that, and I'd never done it, but it gives it a little bit different, good flavor, just scant. And when you get that all mixed up, you're going to add your black walnuts. I think I have them over there. We're lucky to have our own walnut trees, and Hubert picks them out for me. That's nice.
Okay. Is that stood up enough?
That's fine.
Or does it need to be more?
I think it'll be okay.
Okay.
Is it lumpy?
Well, kind of.
And it'll probably cook out.
Well, I can make it higher.
All right.
Now.
Got some black walnuts there.
Now, these black walnuts, you get these off the tree, right?
Yes, and then you've got to look the kernels really good, or you might get a piece of hard shell in there. Someone might lose a tooth. So I always pour mine out on this white board. And you can see it real easy, just a few at a time. Get them out.
Who picked these out for you?
Hubert, I said that a while ago.
Daddy picked these out.
Your dad picked it out. He has more time
Maybe you
than me.
have somebody nice like
He
a
also
dad.
hull the walnuts.
And
All
hull
I
them.
do is cook with them.
Okay, now, what I need to
Stir
do
it
is
up.
just pour these in here.
Yes, just pour them all in there at once.
Okay, black walnuts.
That's my
A whole
first new
cup, right?
Right, whole cup. Get that all stirred up, then you put it in this bowl.
Okay.
Take it out of this serving thing.
Okay.
Then
Now,
you
this is
put
pretty well mixed up.
There's a dab there.
Hey, Mama, you know that Donna Castle suggested doing this story, don't you? It's only because she wanted to come over here and eat some good food, I know. But she didn't know I was going to cook it. She thought you were going to
Oh,
cook
I hope it turns out really well.
it. Well, I hope for Donna's case it does too.
I think it will.
Okay, now then. Now, we're going to put these in the oven for about 10 or 15 minutes on 350 degrees, right? Ooh, that's hot.
I know, that's why you're getting warm in here.
No, I mean this. I should have a pot holder.
Yeah, there's pot holders over there if you
Okay.
want some.
Now, next, we're going to make pecan pie.
You take 3 eggs and crack them.
We're just making one pie, right?
1 pie.
Okay. Where's my little... Can I do it in this bowl?
That'll be okay. Or just, yeah, that's fine. I don't know where your cup is. Here it is.
so
I brought
good at
that for
this.
your shells, but you can put
Oh,
that's okay.
all right.
You
Okay.
can put the shell in that now.
3 eggs, right?
Yes. You're doing a great job.
Okay.
You may be a cook after all, Becky.
Let's don't get too excited. Okay. Now then. That's the third one.
Right.
All right.
Now take your fork.
Fork. Yeah, okay.
Beat them up. Beat them real good.
I thought this is what they had those egg beaters for.
Well, I do have one, but that's quicker.
Okay.
Handy. That's okay.
Now what do I do with this?
Add your brown sugar.
Brown sugar. All right. Now we have 3/4 cup of brown sugar, right?
Nearly a cup of brown sugar.
Oh, nearly a
If
cup.
I've used white, I'd use 3/4
Why
cup.
did you use brown sugar?
It's just not quite so sweet, you know, as white sugar.
Oh, okay.
The recipe calls for white, but I use brown because it's not quite so sweet.
Mixing it up. Okay. Now what do I put in?
3/4 cup of Karo dark syrup or red syrup. I don't know which people call it.
Dark syrup. Just corn syrup,
It's
right?
corn syrup.
3/4 cup. Folks, if you missed these recipes, you can get them at the end of the show because we'll put up an address where you can write for them, and I'll be happy to send them to you. Okay. Now then, we got to mix that up, right?
Right.
Okay. Is that good enough?
It's good enough. Now
All right,
you
now
gotta
what?
put your vanilla.
Vanilla. You said a teaspoon of vanilla?
Right. Teaspoon of vanilla.
Okay. I've got that.
See how easy this is?
Oh, it's so easy.
It's really nothing. We're making an easy pie.
That's right, easy pie. We also always have pumpkin pies on Thanksgiving. You make really good pumpkin pies, so if you write in, I'll send you that recipe too, even though we're not going to make it here today.
I think the reason they're better, we have fresh pumpkin I cook.
Oh yeah, I don't cook them, but we have them. All right, now
Now
what's
you got to
next?
put some butter.
Butter. How much butter?
About 2 kind of round.
Another one of those 2 rounded tablespoons.
Kind of, not too much, just about 2
That enough?
tablespoons. Yes, and you don't have to. Yeah, that'll be fine.
Not one quite so much, right?
Not one quite so much.
How about that?
It's okay.
Okay. Once again, that's oleo, right?
Right.
Okay. Does this butter have to be all stirred up like that?
Not, it's about enough because it'll melt.
Okay.
It said melted butter, but that's the soft butter, so I don't usually take time to melt it.
Okay. Now what do we do next?
I think you're all through with the pecans. So you didn't know it's going to be that easy.
Okay.
There they are in that bag.
Pecans.
I put a cup.
A
and
cup
I've
of
cut
pecans.
some of them, and some of them are whole. I cut some, and so it makes more of a uniform
And just
thing.
pour them in there?
I've already looked for peels and things.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, what's next?
Now you're ready to pour your crust.
Oh, you mean you already had it made out?
Yes.
Boy, I was afraid you were going to have me make one, so I brought my own.
Oh, no.
Well, Mom, you can buy these, and they're just as
I use
easy
those in emergencies when
in
I'm not.
emergencies.
Yes, I use them
This would be a
quite a bit for
staple for me.
Sundays when I don't have time to
But
do it.
since you already have it made out, now this is one you made, right?
Right.
Okay, now pour this in there, right?
Now you're all ready to go into the oven, but you probably need to take the sweet potatoes out first.
Okay, now what are we going to bake this on?
400 for 15 minutes, and then 350, I think, for about 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay. Now it's time to put the marshmallows on the sweet potatoes. Now this is one of my favorite dishes, and I always try to get them to set it real close to me at the end of the table so I can keep dipping and keep dipping and nobody ever sees me.
And those
Now,
stuck.
come on over
Now
here and tell
just-
me what to do.
Just put marshmallows all around the circle and just keep going until you cover it up.
Okay.
I think a lot of marshmallows is good. It melts on there, kind of.
Okay. One more, and that's it. Okay. Now then, do they go back in the oven?
Right.
For how long?
They'll be fine.
Why
Better
the
get something to hold it. Well, just till they brown. I don't know,
Till they
about
brown.
10 minutes, I guess.
Now we'll let those marshmallows brown on 350.
Now we're going to make a pumpkin pie. My grandmother, Jeannie Whitaker, made a very traditional pumpkin pie, and I'm making them for my grandfather, Carson Whitaker, who's 95 years old this Thanksgiving. And I learned this tip from watching our Live Green in Tennessee show. In order to really cook, Mom, a pumpkin, I'd always taken a pumpkin, and the way Granny Hampton did it, she would peel the pumpkin and then she'd cook it on top of the stove. Well, I learned that if you take your pie pumpkin and you cut it in half and you scoop out all the inside, then you put it upside down, and I put mine on an aluminum foil sheet with a little bit of water, and you bake it in the oven about 350. You take this, and look how easy you can scoop the middle out of it. It is so, yeah, you have to get a hold of it. Isn't that amazing? It just comes out so easy. So this is going to be the starter for our pumpkin pie. Mom, I'll let you scoop on this. Okay, now we're using a potato masher, and this is just the baked pumpkin. This is a pie pumpkin, and I bought this at the Cookville's Farmers Market. So don't forget the Farmers Market when you're looking for wonderful food and produce that you can purchase close to home. All right, now we're going to add, after that's all mashed up, we're going to add an egg. And that just actually, I guess Mom makes everything stick together a little bit. I'm going to add just a dash of cinnamon to this. My grandmother's pumpkin pies were incredibly orange, and the pumpkin pies that my mom made actually would, I guess, canned pumpkin from the store, have a darker brown color to them. And I realize now they were orange because she didn't put anything in them. Now, after you've added your cinnamon, you need to add some sugar, and we're going to use about a half a cup of sugar. I think that's a third of a cup, but we're going to put that in because pumpkin is not sweet at all. Just stir the sugar in. Stir and stir to completely blend the pumpkin. And we're just going to add just a little bit of vanilla. Just a little bit of vanilla. And there you've got your wonderful pumpkin. And because this is already baked, we're just going to put that right back in there. And I think just to make it pretty, Mom, we're just going to sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon over the top. And then we're going to take our aluminum foil and we're just going to create a little pan, and just like this. And now we're going to put this in the oven. And Mom, how long do you think that needs to bake?
35 minutes.
30 to 35 minutes. Okay, so we're just going to put that in the oven, and we're going to bake that, and we've got our pecan pie in the oven. So at the same time, our pecan pie and our pumpkin in a real pumpkin will be ready to serve.
We're here with this turkey, and we're going to get some carving tips from my dad. This is my dad, Hubert Robertson, and you were a butcher at Kroger's for what, 35 years? Or?
Yep.
A long time.
Pretty good while.
And he always carves the turkey. Nobody else gets to do that. So why don't you give us some tips?
Well, most anybody can carve a turkey if they've got a knife. And I'm not no expert at carving turkeys, but I'll give it a try.
Now, what's that red button?
Now, this is a thermometer that goes in the turkey. The producers put it in the turkey, and when the turkey gets done, well, this thermometer pops out.
You don't have to watch for it, right?
And
you know,
then,
I mean, well, you do have to watch.
If you cook a turkey in the dry oven, always cook it with the breast down.
Upside down then?
Yeah, like this.
Oh, okay.
And because all your juice is in the back of a turkey, and that runs down into the breast and makes it tender and juicy.
Oh,
but if you cook it in dry heat with the breast up, you'll have a real dry turkey breast.
Huh. Now, you cook this in an aluminum foil?
Yeah.
Did you wrap it in aluminum
Wrapped
foil?
in aluminum foil, and now it's not brown, but you take your aluminum foil off, and then turn it on broil in the oven and leave it for about, you can watch it till it gets brown. It just takes just a few minutes for it to get brown.
Dad, how long did you cook that turkey?
You cook it 30 minutes per pound on 350.
Oh, okay. So
It's wrapped. Mm-hmm. But if you cook it in dry heat, you won't cook it that long.
Oh, okay.
You'll cook it about 20 minutes per pound in dry heat.
All right, now what do you got to do?
The next thing you do, you get this steel wire that holds the legs together. And it doesn't make a whole lot of difference what you do next. But the main thing is the breast. Mm-hmm. If people likes the breast.
Now, is there any specific way that you have to cut it?
Well, there's a divider in there, and you go down on one side. You can't go all the way across. You got to go down one side at a time. Uh-huh. Usually go across the grain, but if the turkey is too done and is hot, it will not slice real good because it's too too tender. It won't slice good. But this one, I cooled it down. It's been out of the oven about 5 hours, and it's cool and it slices pretty good.
So you need to cool it some anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm gonna check the marshmallows, okay?
All right.
On the potatoes, ooh, they look like they're about ready. Here's our sweet potatoes with black walnuts and marshmallows on top. Why do you think I never learned how to cook?
Well, you was always too busy playing with the boys.
Oh, no, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right.
Your brothers.
My brothers, yeah.
You're always too busy playing with your brothers.
Being
yeah.
a tomboy, huh?
Yeah. Riding the ponies or out of shooting a slingshot or done something like that.
Well, that's an honest answer. That's true. Boy, that looks good. That turkey looks good.
You know, there's a lot of different kinds of turkeys, several different kinds of breeds. Now, one time, you know, me and my daddy was been hunting, and we stopped at a friend's house. They said, "Oh, come in and have dinner with us." Said, "We've got turkey for dinner."
Uh-huh.
Well, we went in and ate dinner, and they said, "You know what kind of turkey this is?" Daddy said, "No." He said, "Well, it's a turkey buzzard." So, a lot of people don't know what a turkey buzzard is, but that's a vulture.
A vulture?
Yeah.
Really?
So, of course, after we ate, it tastes pretty good till they told us what kind of turkey it was. But after we ate, and they told me, well, you know where I went the next few minutes.
Yeah, I'm sure. Outside.
Yeah.
Ooh, a turkey buzzard.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard that story, folks. That was a new one.
And then on the legs, just set that board off over there now. On the legs here, they're the dark meat, and there's not much slicing to them because you can't slice them, but you can just pull the meat off of the bones, and if you want to cut it up, you can cut it up, and you can lay it.
Put this in
you can divide it. Have your dark meat on one side and your white meat on the other, like that.
Do you ever put down? Can you ever put down the drumstick whole?
Yeah, you can put them down whole. Yeah, I always leave them whole nearly when I slice them.
Yeah, you can put that one on.
Then you can mix this, all your dark meat that you don't use. You can mix it with your ground meat to make a turkey salad out of it. Now, most everybody has got tools to carve a turkey with. And if you take care of them, they'll do you a lifetime. Back in the cavemen days, they carved their turkeys like this.
One of my favorite things to do is to decorate the tray for the turkey. By using just a few pieces of parsley and some red grapes, you can provide an eye-appealing as well as taste-appealing entree. Our turkey's ready for Thanksgiving, and we're going to get the sweet potatoes and the pie out, and then we're going to sit down and have something to eat, okay?
That'd be fine with me.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Well, I'm going to take a bite of sweet potatoes. That's my favorite. I'm going to make sure the bowl stays down here by me and not by Donna. I have a bite of pecan pie. Folks, it's good, and the turkey's good, and I hope that you have a terrific Thanksgiving. I'm Becky Robertson Magura, along with my folks, Hubert and Dimple Robertson, wishing you a happy Thanksgiving.
And now we're going to make what I think is probably one of my very favorite Thanksgiving items. We always have this at Thanksgiving and Christmas. And Mom, what are we making?
Cranberry salad.
And this was your mom's recipe.
Yes, and she always ground everything, her oranges, apples, nuts, and everything on a sausage grinder that you just hooked onto the side of the table and cranked it, and then put a pan under it, flat pan, and then you would have it finished like this then.
Yes, and we don't have a sausage grinder that we could find, so actually we had to use a food processor. You could use a food processor, or you could also use, I guess you could use a blender if you didn't have a food processor. But it's a very basic recipe, but it is so good, and it adds beautiful color and lots of really healthy things to your Thanksgiving dinner. So we've got a pound of cranberries, 2 cups of sugar, 2 boxes of raspberry Jell-O, 2 apples diced, a package of Knox gelatin, a number 2 can of crushed pineapple drained, 2 oranges diced, and you don't peel the oranges, 2 oranges diced, and a cup of nuts. And what kind of nuts did Granny always use?
She always put hickory nuts
Hickory
in there.
nut. We actually didn't know there were any other kind of nuts except hickory nuts and probably black walnuts that Pa would get. My granny made a very specific note in her cookbook that says, you wash the cranberries and then you don't put any water in them. You put them in a pan and you put 2 cups of sugar over them and you put them on low and you cook them till the cranberries start popping. And you don't want to cook them so long that they're overcooked and they're mushy. As you can see, several of the cranberries are still whole. Mix all your ingredients and let them chill. And then serve in your favorite container. And one of the things I know, all of us have memories of our grandparents. I remember the year that my grandmother was sick and we knew that, it might be one of her last Christmases. I kept a bowl of cranberry salad in a cottage cheese container in the freezer all year long because I was afraid the next year she was not going to be able to make it, but she was able to make it. So now we've continued to pass that down and pass this recipe around with our family members, and it's a great thing. So it's my granny's cranberry salad. Okay, I'm so thankful to be with my mom and dad today, and I hope you're thankful and enjoying your holiday with your family. And Thanksgiving wouldn't be complete if we didn't reminisce about those old family recipes that we love so much. I hope you were thankful for the people that you love and for all those people that love you. Happy Thanksgiving from your friends at WCTE.